Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam has said that my Shia, my follower, is my representative. So this is like a piece of advice I would like to give to all my sisters and brothers, because it's something I've personally experienced when I was in university, being the only Shia in my class. People don't want to talk. They're not bothered why you do this or that. They say, okay, you do it, that's your deed. I'm not concerned. But at the same time, you can tell they're not happy or they don't want to get to know you, kind of a thing. The best thing to do is, if they don't want to talk, you don't force them to do it, because there's no compulsion in Islam. But through your behavior, through your actions, you show them who you are. And then they'll say, why do you do this? For example, why do you wear hijab? And then you get a chance to speak. Oh, because Sayyidah Zainab Salamullah did it, because Sayyidah Fatma Zahra did it. And who are they? And then you go from there. They're little things, but they're going to attract attention. For example, if you're living in a non-Muslim country, and they've got parties and meetings, and you don't go there because there will be drinks or alcohol. So they will ask you, why are you not joining us? Then you get a chance to say, because Imam Ali said you're not even allowed to sit at a table where there is alcohol. So it's not like they wouldn't come and sit down and talk about Shiism, but through your behavior and actions, make them curious enough that they will ask you or just comment on something, and then you just go from there.
Definitely. Would you like
I totally agree with her. I think she answered it very beautifully. Just wait for an opportunity. Once you get the opportunity, then you sort of kick off.
Definitely.
And that's what I believe.
Sometimes, like you said, sometimes the best form of da'wah is actually in actions rather than in speech.
That's
or
very true.
in preaching. And for example, that I believe that some people may not wanna have dialogue with you. I went to some educational institutes where I was perhaps one of the few Shias, or sometimes in some cases one of the only Shias within that institute. And I remember that once I walked past and I was going to the prayer room and I said, Assalamu alaikum, and then someone else replied, Wa alaikum salam. And then another sister said to that sister, she said, you know, you shouldn't say salams to Shias, they're not Muslims, don't say salam to them. And I'm honestly, with my hand on my heart, I'm being honest, this actually happened. And then I just walked off and I said, I said, Wa alaikum assalam, and I walked off. And then within a week, the sisters actually approached me and started speaking to me and said, why do you follow Shia Islam? And then we had a dialogue. So sometimes, like you said, the best form of da'wah, or the best form of having a dialogue with someone's through actions, and then people come to you and slowly. We have another caller on the line, so inshallah we'll take that call and come back to the points the sister made. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I just wanted to say this program is very interesting, and I had a question as well.
Thank you very much.
One of the sisters could please give me some references from Sunni books regarding the use of sajdaga or durba.
The use of...
because I get a lot of Sunni friends objecting to the use of it, and it would really help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you very much for calling in. I mean, this is an issue which always comes in this regarding praying on turba. I mean, I can give the historical evidence as to why we pray on the turba, but would you not like to...
Yeah, quickly. Sahih al-Bukhari, Volume 1, Book number 8, and page number 378. It is narrated by Maimuna that Allah's apostle used to pray on a khumra. Khumra, if you go into detail of what it is something made out of clay, mud, sand, and a bit of water. And that's something that our Prophet commonly used. Then you can refer to Sahih Bukhari, Volume 1, Book number 12, where it is narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri that I saw Allah's apostle prostrating in mud and water and saw the mark of mud on his forehead. And all legal scholars of all Sunni schools of law, they concur regarding the validity of prostration on earth and that which grows on it. So basically anything that is man-made, you don't do sajda on that, but anything that occurs naturally and is pak and pure and not used as garment, you do sajda on that. So it could be mud, water, leaf, anything.
Definitely.
So Sahih Bukhari, Sahih al-Muslim, Sunan ibn Majah, Sunan ibn Dawood, you'll find references on the use of turba.
Definitely true. I mean, we have a lot of references in regards to, the usage of praying on a turba or a piece of clay, something natural, even from Sunni books. So, as the sister mentioned, more than enough references to praying on a piece of clay within Sunni books themselves. But like the sister said, I mean, when I read about this whole issue of praying on turba, I mean, the usage, people usually now pray on carpet. I mean, if you enter a mosque from the other schools of thought, they pray on the carpet. I mean, if we think about when did the carpet actually got invented, and during the time of the Prophet, there was no such thing as carpet. The Prophet is narrated in some of the hadiths that he used to pray on the prayer mat, which is made out of palm, palm trees are made out of that. So that's a natural resource. So anything that's a natural resource, you can pray on it. In the sense that we came from clay and we're going to return to clay. So what's more logical than praying on clay? So beautiful references there. And if sisters want that in email, then we can email you all those references. But going back to the misconceptions, do you have something?
Yeah, quickly name a few. Misconception one is that Shias do not pay zakat. We do pay zakat. In fact, not only do we pay 2.5% leftover from savings as zakat, we also pay an additional 20% as khums, which is known as general charity. Second misconception, Shias practice temporary marriages or they have legal prostitutions. No, we don't do that. Mutta was something introduced by the Prophet during the time of the Prophet to stop adultery, fornication and fertility. Something to stop people from committing haram and to satisfy the desires or needs through an Islamic halal way. Third, I would like to briefly say on that Shias consider the Imams as infallible and they consider them as above the Prophets. That's not true. Prophethood is something which is destined for the Prophet by Allah. And Imams, they are the successor of the Prophets. And Imamat started when the prophethood ended. The last messenger, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, after his demise, the Imamat started as he left his successor, Imam Ali alayhi salam, as our guide.
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, there's quite a few more. We're compared as animalistic creatures. It's actually said that we Shias have tails. We Shias do not have tails. We Shias are just the same as everyone else. We're equal. The other misconception is when it comes to Muharram, it's absurd. It's very absurd and it's embarrassing too. But when it comes to Muharram, we switch off the lights, we go inside a hole, men, women together, and we perform adultery. No, we do not do that. Yeah. We go to mosque, whether it be a hole or a nice luxury mosque, whatever. We go to commemorate the Shahadat of Imam Hussein, the martyrdom of Imam Hussein. These misconceptions are...
Definitely, there's a lot of misconceptions brought through, and we all know that these are lies and fallacies. I mean,
one that shouldn't really be forgotten is the fact that we Shias also believe that Imam Ali, the first Imam, is God. We do not believe Imam Ali as God. We believe God as God and Imam Ali as the first Imam,
Definitely. I'm not sure how much time we have left, but there's a lot of these issues that I would like to go into. But just to end it off, I mean, there's so much that we can discuss. For example, fasting on Ashura. People fast on Ashura, which is, tradition from the Umayyads. They brought that to try to remove the attention from Karbala. And there's a lot of misconceptions we can discuss, but unfortunately we're running out of time. I don't know how long we have left, but just to end it off, I mean, there's the other thing that people say, why do you mourn for Hussein? Why do you cry for Hussein? And for everyone watching at home and for us, if we call ourselves the followers of Muhammad and the followers of ahlulbayt, and if we say we love the ahlulbayt, then how are we not going to cry for when the grandson of the Holy Prophet died? And just yesterday, I think a brother emailed into Women's View and he said, he goes, do you cry for Imam al-Hussein? And we have to end it off there, but in reply to that brother, I mean, he just wrote one sentence, do you cry for Imam al-Hussein? And to answer the brother, yes, I do cry for Imam al-Hussein. We do cry for Imam al-Hussein. And we can prove that crying for the death of the grandson of the Prophet is important. And inshallah, we will email you and reply to you soon. But this is the end of the show. We would love to speak more about this issue, but I know that you're coming on soon, and so is Selma. So inshallah, we will discuss another issue then. So thank you very much, Sister Nazia and Sister Selma, for joining us today. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. We have so much more to talk about, and we have so much further misconceptions to refute. But inshallah, that's the end. If you have comments or any issues or questions, then please do email us at womensview@ahlulbayt.tv. Now, I'd just like to say we're cutting off to a VT from Dr. Fatma Jami. So do watch that. That's all for now. Join me for tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.